Alright, hello guys, another cooking video. I will be making slow cooker honey pork roast. Slow cooker honey pork roast. I almost forgot to put it on record. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I have. No, it's all wet. Oh, it's gotten it all wet. You gotta be careful. See, so far I've got all this mixed in. Okay, it was a 3 to 4 pound pork loin roast, which I think it's a little more. So instead of doubling it, it's not like 8 pounds. I did buy a 7 or 8 pound, but it was a long pork roast that you can cut up into roast and pork chops, and I cut some into pork chops. So it's probably half of that. So if it's a 3 to 4, it's probably like half of 3 is 1.5, so that would be 4.5. Or if it's 4, it'd be 2, so it'd be 6, so it's somewhere around there. So instead of doubling the ingredients, I did half. So like it called for 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. So instead of doubling it to 4 tablespoons, I did 3, half of the 2. Okay? So that's what I'm doing with all the ingredients. Okay? So it was 2 tablespoons of dried oregano, 2 tablespoons of dried basil. I put in 3 of each. Okay? Half a teaspoon of black pepper, which would have been, half of that is 1/4, so that would have been about 3/4, which it's the cracked back, so I don't, it's too much to try to do that onto a plate and then measure it, so I just did it until I thought it was 3/4 in the bowl, okay? 3/4 teaspoon of salt, so I did 3/4 and then half of the, I don't know. Half of 1/2 is 1/4, so I put an extra 1/4 plus a tiny bit more, okay? Then, it was 2 tablespoons of garlic minced, so I did 3 tablespoons. Half a cup of honey, so it was going to be 3/4 cup of honey, but I just barely had half a cup of honey left, so that's okay. 1/4 of a cup of soy sauce, so I did almost half a cup, because doubled it would be half a cup, but I'm not doing it. So it'd be 1/4 cup and 1/8 cup. So I did almost to the half cup, but I left about 1/8 before I get to the half cup, okay? All right, now it wants 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Wait, let me see. I'm trying to see here because it does say 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which I would do 3. But it says in a medium bowl, combine the dry oregano, dry basil, black pepper, salt, minced garlic, honey, soy sauce, and Parmesan cheese. Pour over the sauce over the pork loin roast in a slow cooker. Remove the cooked pork loin roast from the slow cooker. Reduce cooking liquid to bring to a boil, reduce heat, simmer to reduce and thickened. I don't know because in the instructions it says nothing. It says in a medium bowl, bring the oregano, basil, black pepper, salt, minced garlic, honey, soy sauce, and Parmesan cheese, and mix well. It says nothing about the olive oil. So, maybe I forgot to write that down because it's written. Maybe I forgot. So I will put, it says 2 tablespoons. It was supposed to be 3, but I'm just going to do 2 because I'm not sure. So we'll go there. Okay, I got to keep remembering this HEB brand. Sorry. The hole in here is bigger. The other one I had, the hole was small. So I got to remember that when I'm pouring. I got to remember that. Okay? And the Parmesan cheese, it says 2/3 cup. So 2/3 and half of that is 1/3, which would be 3/3, which would be a full cup. But it'd be a little less because I'm only doing half of that. I'm not doubling it all the way. Okay, so, and it says grated. I could have used shredded. I should have. But it said grated, so we're going to go. We're going to go with the grated. I'm sorry, I keep getting myself out of... Okay, the bowl is over here, so I'm just going to kind of break it up. Okay. Since I'm not doubling it, half of, oh yeah, if I doubled it, it would have been 2/3 and 2/3. So half of that is 1/3. So yes, that would have been 3/3. Okay. So that doesn't leave me with much. Okay, so now it says mix it all together. So we got all that. See? So I'm going to mix it all together. I'm trying to stay in camera view. Because I didn't use my phone. I used my iPad because when I want to put it on the app to edit it, it was on my iPad, not my phone. And the video doesn't get on my iPhone if I use my phone, so. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that 1 more tablespoon of olive oil. Okay. I'm here, guys. So let me get over here. Let me stir it up. It's like a paste, more like. Because it says, pour the sauce over the pork loin roast. Yes, it does. So I'm going to just put a tiny bit more soy sauce, just so you can make it a little more liquidy. But I don't want to put too much because it's salty. But I got less sodium. So. Because I have nothing to refer to because this is what I've written down and this was written down a long time ago. It's a little more, it's not so thick and pasty. So it still looks like paste, but, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. Okay. Now, we'll put it all over and then cover and cook on low for 6 to 8 hours. And it wants us to remove the cooked pork loin from the slow cooker, reserving the liquid, shred the meat, add the reserved cooking liquid to a saucepan, and bring to a boil. Reduce heat and simmer until reduced and thickened. Pour the reduced and thickened sauce over the shredded meat. But I don't know if I'm going to shred the meat or if I'm just going to cut it in slices. So, yes, it's liquidy. It'll probably turn into liquid, more liquid. Okay? I'm trying to keep this bag. This bag wants to slip. So I'm putting some of it, trying to push some of it underneath so it gets around the Roast. I'm trying to get it all around the roast. Okay, hopefully it'll make some of it. I think it makes some of its own juice too. Okay, so I did about 1/4 cup of soy sauce, plus half of that is 1/8, so just a little bit less than half a cup. But I added a tiny bit more at the end just so it this wasn't so thick. Okay? Okay. So, that's all done. I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. And then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in the crock pot, okay? Just rinsing the bowl. We'll be doing these dishes when I'm done with you guys. Okay. So, alrighty. So, I'm just going to show you. I had used the sea salt. Okay, you can use any kind of regular salt. I used oregano leaves. It said dried oregano and dried basil, but... Okay, this is gone, so I got to see if I have any more. If I don't, I got to put it on my list. And the basil leaves. I have a little bit left. And of course, I used black pepper, cracked peppercorn. And when I did the minced garlic, I used this. And then the soy sauce, of course. It was less sodium. And Parmesan cheese grated. Okay? And I just used extra virgin olive oil. That's all I used. And I think that was it. And honey. Yes, this was thick. It is raw and unfiltered honey. That's what I used. I gotta get some more, but I'm not gonna get that kind. It was given to us. So that's what I used. Okay, like I said, I'll repeat the measurements and ingredients, but I used half of that. I didn't double it. I used half of that. So 3 to 4 pounds of pork loin roast. 2 tablespoons of dried oregano and 2 tablespoons of dried basil, which if you're going to do half of that, that would be 3. You know, half of 2 is 1. So I didn't double it. Half a teaspoon of black pepper, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons of garlic minced, half a cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of soy sauce, and 2/3 cup of Parmesan cheese grated. Okay? So I did half of everything. But it might have been a little more liquidy if I would have had some more honey. I needed about 1/4 of a cup more of honey, but I didn't have it. It was half a cup, but if I'm doing half of that, it would have been 1/4 of a cup more. So it was just lacking that. But I knew I had honey, but I didn't know how low I was. Okay? So since I can't turn this around like I can on a live video, since it's pre-recorded. That's what it looks like. Can y'all see that? Oh, here we go. There's the pork loin. There's a big one and a tiny one in there. Okay, and I spread all that stuff over top and underneath. I lifted it up and spread it underneath. Okay? So, it will be going on 6 to 8 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on. I've got the plastic bag on there like I always put on there. Okay? Okay, see? Okay, so I'm going to turn it on, put it on low, and put it on 8 hours. I'll check it at 6, and later on I'll be making it's some kind of rosemary, sliced potatoes are sliced. And it's a rosemary, but I don't think I have rosemary, so it says rosemary and or Italian seasoning. So I guess rosemary is in Italian seasoning, I'm not sure. So I'm going to use Italian seasoning instead of rosemary. But yeah, I'll be putting them in the oven, and it says Parmesan cheese. It's a Parmesan, rosemary Parmesan sliced potato something. But since I don't have Parmesan, not because I'm low on this, it wanted shredded, I'm going to just use some cheddar cheese. And then, when it's done, after 30 minutes of cooking, I'm going to, it said sprinkle the last of the Parmesan cheese on top. Put it back in on broil for 5 to 7 minutes. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheddar cheese on top when it's done after 30 minutes. And then I'm going to just put it back in for the cheese to melt. I'm not going to do it on broil. Guess that's just to brown the cheese or the potato. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just put it back in for a few minutes for it to melt. Now I would add some bacon on top. That would make it really good. But I don't have any bacon. So we'd be good. Because I was trying to find something to make for my side dish, and I wasn't sure. Like, today's Monday. Wednesday I was making some. It's not necessarily barbecue chicken, but it's called, I'll tell you what it's called. Better Than Good barbecue chicken. But it's using a special jar of barbecue muffin sauce, something, not regular barbecue sauce. From our local HEB, it has that jar of stuff comes from there. So I was trying to think what to make with that too, and I decided I was going to make crock-pot mac and cheese. There's a recipe for that. I have it written in my pink folder, but there was a recipe for crock-pot mac and cheese on Pinterest. And it's almost the same, about the same, so I'm going to use that, but I'm going to have to buy a few items either later today or tomorrow before Wednesday comes, so for the mac and cheese, because I don't have it. Okay, and it's telling me to use Celentini. It's corkscrew pasta or any other small pasta. So I'm just going to see what it looks like. I may just use elbow macaroni because I already have some. Yes, I already have some elbow macaroni, so I'll see how much I have of that and may use that instead. Just said it's small. You know elbow macaroni is small, and that's normally what you see in macaroni and cheese, so yeah. But I'll have to get the ingredients together for that. Okay? But yeah. So, I will come back later. And it's going to be 2 separate videos, but it will be edited into one video. But I'll come back later and I'll show you what the roast looks like. And by the time I come back, hopefully the potatoes are just about done. So I can show you how they came out, okay? And then we're going to have, I'll have to decide on what vegetable I think will go good with that. Somebody told me asparagus might go well with that. But I've never had asparagus. I'm not too sure about that. So I've got to get some asparagus one day and just try it. But until then, I'm probably going to have broccoli. It's either going to be regular broccoli or broccoli with cheese. So that'll probably be what I'll have. All right? So I'll show you when it's done. All right, everything's just about done. So we're going to finish this up. I got the liquid from the roast, pork loin roast in the pan. It's boiling. I had to boil it and cook it on and reduce it to let it reduce and get thickened, and then go from there. The potatoes are done. I made some side potatoes. Okay, it was supposed to be rosemary Parmesan. I didn't have Parmesan, so I used cheddar cheese. And I didn't have rosemary, so it said I could use rosemary or Italian dressing. So, but at the end, it wants you to put, it was like 1/4 of a cup that I mixed in with the seasoning and the oil of cheese. It wants me to put the rest on there. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on each one of these potatoes. Okay. And then, when I'm done, it will go in the oven for about 5 minutes or however many minutes. I'll just keep watch until the cheese is melted. And that'll be it. That'll be it. Okay? Yeah, I already started this video and I dropped the cheese. I dropped this bag of cheese. Cheese went everywhere. Well, it's still a good amount in here. It's still a lot. My dog ate some of it, but my husband came and swept most of it up before the dog got it. Oh, because I've been too much cheese for the dog. But I was like, son of a... And so, so I was like, no, I'm going to cancel out that video. Hello, people. Swear. I know. Most times I make mistakes, I don't do it. But if I say a curse word, I don't really want that in the video. Plus, I don't know how Facebook... I mean, not Facebook. Well, Facebook too, but I don't know how YouTube will see that. Facebook, if I decide to put this on Facebook, but I don't know. As of recording this video, I don't know. But we'll see. So, I'm just putting the cheese on the potatoes. Just a little bit, getting it all over. My dog's looking for more cheese, but she got plenty. So she's not getting no more. Some of the cheese is starting to melt because the potatoes are still hot. But I tested them and it tasted like they could use a little more salt. And in the seasoning part, they asked for kosher salt, so I put a little bit of kosher salt. So I'm going to put these back in the oven, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the seasonings that I use. Back up, Brownie. Okay, I'm putting these in the oven. Oh, I forgot to show it to you, but I'll show it to you afterwards. Okay, so I cut the potatoes up in thin little slices, okay, and then I drizzled some olive oil on top of there. It said put the remaining oil on there. I don't know if they meant remaining after I spreaded some on the foil-lined paper. It wanted me to spread oil on the foil that was on the pan, but I really didn't. I had some avocado nonstick spray and I just sprayed that. So I put about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Okay, it asked for, I'll let you guys know, it asked for 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So I put that. Okay, half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now the olive oil, you put it on the potatoes. But the seasonings, you wanted you to mix it in a bowl. So it would be half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay. 1/4 of a teaspoon. Now all these that I'm going to mention now is 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder. Garlic powder. Italian seasoning, because it says black pepper, which I really didn't measure it. I just did it to what I thought was 1/4 of a teaspoon. It said dried rosemary or Italian seasoning. So you can put dried rosemary and Italian seasoning, or. So I just put this because I don't have rosemary. Okay? It says or to taste, which means you could do 1/4 of a teaspoon, or you could do all those seasonings to your liking. Onion powder, garlic powder, freshly cracked black pepper, Cajun Creole seasoning, dried rosemary, and or Italian seasoning to taste. Now, I don't know why I put it away, but this is what I used for the Cajun seasoning. It's new. It's the first time I used it, so I wanted to try it. Okay? But I also could have used Slap Your Mama. It's Cajun seasoning. And I have Tony Satcheris. So I could have used, I had a couple choices. Alrighty. Okay, then it wanted you to mix in the bowl. Oh, the seasonings, mix it in a tiny little bowl. I just used like one of these. Mix it up and put only half the seasoning on the potatoes and mix it all up with the oil. Okay? Then it says 1/4 cup of freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. I didn't have Parmesan cheese, so I used cheddar cheese. So I put about 1/8 cup. I just pick some up with my fingers and put it in there. In the bowl, not in the seasoning bowl, but in the big, huge bowl. Because after you slice the potatoes, you put them in a big bowl. And then take your hands and just mix it all up. If your hands are clean, fine. Or you can put gloves on, up to you. Mix it all up. And then, make sure your pans are already lined with the foil and sprayed down or wiped down with oil, olive oil. And then take the potatoes and line them on there. Single line, no overlapping. It took me 2 pans because of the potatoes I had. You do 1 pan or 2 pans, whatever it takes, okay? And then take the rest of the, and then you put it in your oven, preheat it to 350. 350. Put it in your oven for 30 minutes. And make sure you try to cut the potatoes the best you can to the same thickness, okay? Not too thick, but you don't want them papered, then they can see through them. Okay? When it's done, take it out. Oh, before you put it in the oven, cover it with foil. It says cover it with foil, okay? Put it in there 30 minutes, bake. Then take it out, uncover it. Take the foil off. Take the rest of the cheese, which will be about 1/8 of a cup left, but you don't have to measure. Just take a little bit and sprinkle it on top of each potato, or sprinkle it all around the potatoes. Put it back in your oven for a few minutes until the cheese melts. That's it. Okay? That is it. Okay, now I've been talking. Let me check on my, it says until it's reduced or thickened, but this liquid, I turned it off. It's not thickening too well. Unless I put, a mixture of water and cornstarch, it'll thicken it up. The instructions don't say that, but I know that thickens stuff up. I want you to shred the pork. The pork loin, yes, and then pour the juice back over it, but I'm not going to. I had a big red platter that you could put a big ham, turkey, whatever on there, but I don't have those platters no more. They're still in my storage. But this is what, I took it out of the crock pot. It says to shred it, but we're just going to slice it. But it may fall apart anyway, because it was about to fall apart, but the way I picked it up, it stayed together. Okay? So, now there was something else. Oh, the vegetables. I said earlier, was it on my live or something I said I was going to do? Cheese broccoli or regular broccoli? I'm going to do cheese. We're going to do this for 5 minutes. Okay. Alrighty. So. Let me see. I don't feel like pulling everything out. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of water. Equal. And I was just going to mix it in here. And then pour it in there so it'll thicken it up, but I don't feel like. Because I'll tell you, the instructions say reduce heat and simmer until reduced and thickened. But, so, let's see how this is. I'm thinking of going for it because it's too thin. To me, it's too thin. Okay? I say it's too thin because it does. It looks. Kind of scoot some stuff over. Okay. So. You gotta get another tablespoon out. Okay. I don't know what the actual measurement should be. It says 1 tablespoon Argo cornstarch equals 2 tablespoons of flour. Oh, so I could use a tablespoon of this cornstarch and replace the flour? To make cake flour, combine 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So 3/4 cup of this plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Oh, for 1 cup of cake flour, combined 3/4 cup plus 3/4 cups of regular all-purpose flour plus 2 tablespoons, and then 2 tablespoons of Argo cornstarch to make your cake flour. I didn't know. To thicken hot liquids, first mix Argo cornstarch with a little bit of cold water until smooth. Gradually stir into hot liquid until blended. Stirring constantly, bring to a boil. Boil 1 minute. But gotta get the cold water. It just says what to do. It didn't say like measurements, but I think it's like 1 for 1. You know, 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. There we go. Get it all going. Okay. I'm going to just turn it on like 2. Pour it in there. Okay. So let's get that mixed up. Okay, and I'm going to let it warm back up. And this is what I used. Got these 2 big forks I used. I kind of lifted it up from the bottom. If I would have poked it right through the sides, it probably would have definitely fallen apart. Okay? So okay, and some of these dishes, the cutting board I cut the potatoes on, and a couple of other things I already washed because I did not want to have that many dishes like that later on tonight. But I do definitely gotta wash the oh, now I can put most of my seasonings away. I was leaving them out so I could show you guys what I used. Okay, so microwave went off for the I'm just gonna stir it for a minute or 2. It says bring it to a boil and stir it for 1 minute. Okay, so alright guys, trying to put this just right so y'all can see me. Alrighty, let's get you up there. Let's get this. Still here. sorry, cut this open. Alrighty, so, oh, it kind of fell down. Sorry, guys. So, the bag of broccoli is kind of small, so I'm going to do a second one. Okay, so, kind of not. Alrighty, let's see what we got left next. Oh, I'm just waiting for this. It's coming to a boil again. It was only, I had it on 2. Put it on 3. Let me see. If you've seen earlier in the video, I said like, when it said do like 1/4 of a teaspoon of a certain seasonings, and I did 1/4 and then an 1/8. Oh no, that was for the potatoes. The other one, when it said do, let me see. Oh, like it said do 2 tablespoons of dry basil, 2 tablespoons of dry oregano. So the roast was a little bit bigger, so I did 3 instead half of, not double, but half. So that was like 3 tablespoons. But I'm thinking that may have been a little too much because I just got big clumps of seasoning. Maybe it didn't need that much, but it tastes good. I already tasted it. Okay? So, let's see here. I'm going to stir this. Okay, so I turned it off. Okay. Sorry guys, let me see if I can turn this around a little bit. Alrighty, so let's get a plate. Just took out 3 plates. Me and my husband are so let's go. Alrighty, so I am going to take this knife and turn that handle. Let's see. Cut a small piece here too. Let's see. I'm gonna plate this up for you guys. Oh, I should have took a picture of the roast. Okay, where's my phone? Right here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture of the roast. Okay. And then I'll take a picture of the plate and what it looks like. Okay, so okay, because you got like big clumps of the seasoning. That's with the oil and the, no, that was the soy sauce and the honey and, okay, but this will not be my first pick on how I would do it, but I still like it. Still tastes good. Okay? Okay, just a second. Oh, got about 40 seconds on there. I mean, on the vegetables, guys. So, oh, the potatoes. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I almost burnt the potatoes, really. Because they're only supposed to be in there for a few minutes to melt the cheese, but I overdid it. I really overdid it. So, okay, so let me take out the second bag of broccoli. Ooh. Okay, where did I put it? Over here. Okay, guys. Alrighty, so let me show you what the potatoes look like. Now, remind you, the cheese is a little burnt. Okay, those are 2 pans. Okay, I was thinking about something else and I just, okay, just 5 minutes, not even that you probably need. Okay, I think I went beyond that. Okay, so I can turn off the oven. Okay, so this for the broccoli. Okay, so I'm going to put some broccoli on there. Okay, so far, okay. This. I hope I didn't. People, have you ever watched a video where someone has screwed a part of the meal up to the point where it wasn't eatable? That might be the potatoes. It kind of turned into potato chips. But we'll have to see. So far, okay. My dog's staring at me, but she ain't getting it. She don't like most anything potato, but she would probably eat it because it has cheese on it. Because I was messing with my dog one night, we had loaded mashed potatoes and I was like, here, one bite? I knew she wasn't going to eat it. Yeah, she did. She had bacon and all her favorite stuff in there. Alrighty, so far, okay, I'll have to bring this down when I'm ready to do a thumbnail, but I'm going to put some of the liquid on top of the meat. Okay. So, alright, let's bring this down. All right. So, I'm gonna taste it. So, piece of the meat. Not bad. Some potato parts are still soft, but I got a crunchy one, but it's still good. And broccoli's good, so it worked. Alright, so I'm gonna get off of here. And I'm gonna end this way I end all videos. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love you guys. Stay positive, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.